What's up everybody? Welcome back! In today's video, I'm making a new docking station for my hot glue, complete with a storage compartment for the glue sticks. And yep, I'm using upcycled cardboard as the base material. I make DIY projects, home improvement, and cleaning motivation videos, so please feel free to subscribe and do all the stuff to get notifications if you like that kind of stuff. If you were here last week, then you already know this cardboard was upcycled from my paint sprayer box. Last week, I used the box to make coasters. I'll link that video below if you haven't seen it yet. But the cutoffs were a perfect fit for this DIY. I started at 9 inches and measured 1.5 inches out in either direction. Then I used my metal ruler and the back end of a paintbrush to gently score a line. I bent it upwards. I flipped it over and did the same on the back, then bent that in the opposite direction. Then I used the bend lines to create a raised triangle at about 1.5 inches high. Then I could get final measurements for the bottom layer of the base. I transferred those measurements and cut down the cardboard. And while you watch me cut that out, I just want to say a quick thanks to Megan Weller for the massive inspiration for the layout of this piece. I modified things to fit my hot glue needs, but her tutorial was amazing. I don't know if she's the first one to do this, but her video was the first one that I watched, so I'll link to her below if you want to check it out. I'm doing this project for 2 reasons. First, because I hate storing my glue flat in the packaging. It's a pain to access. And second, I want to have my sticks right there at hand. My sticks are 4 inches, so my final box will be 3¼ inches high for ease of access. I measured and cut all 4 pieces. And while I do that, here's a fun and situationally appropriate little ditty for your listening pleasure.
The brown boxes in the living room. My life is in a never-ending state of that old transition. I got them piled up high in the corner of the kitchen, and I'm itching just to find a little bit of unpacked nutrition. All this crap I've accumulated, and I've waited for a place that's big enough to fit it into. Onward, upward, running with a new herd. Too small U-Haul, gotta get it transferred. Packing and I'm stacking and I'm making all my crap fit. Gotta shove it all into the brown boxes. I got 25 pounds of long grain rice and the cereal I bought when I was in California. Don't try to lift that box over there, it's full of old magazines, I just thought I'd warn ya. Onward, upward, running with a new herd. Too small U-Haul, gotta get it transferred. Packing and I'm stacking and I'm making all my crap fit. Gotta fit it all into the brown boxes.
I took those pieces and my hot glue and attached the 4 sides together. The glue got a little messy, but everything lined up and formed a mostly square angle rectangle. Once the glue set up, I attached the box to the top part of what will become the base of the piece. Then I started attaching the top layer to the bottom layer of the base. I only added glue to about 4 inches. I attached it while bending the triangle upwards. I made tick marks to measure out for the glue, added more hot glue, and attached the rest of the top layer. If you saw the video where I made a docking station out of clay, then you know why I need taller sides on my version of this piece. I measured so I'd have an 1.5 inch gap in the middle and made some marks. I held the cardboard up to the triangle and traced along the base and the angle to get a custom fit. I used the first as a guide for the second, traced it, cut it down, and dry fit. Then I cut off the excess at the back side, including cardboard and some hot glue squeeze out. I attached the side pieces that I'm using to keep the glue gun upright. With everything cured, I did a quick test fit, making sure to shake it around and try a bunch of different dropping in techniques. You know, just in case. But it all looked good enough to proceed. I'm using more of the leftover brown paper that I got in the paint sprayer box. And as usual, I'm using a 1-to-1 mix of Mod Podge to water. My mom recently asked why I thinned down my Mod Podge. I already answered her, but I figured you peeps might want the 411 too. First of all, it extends the life of my bottle of Mod Podge, and you know I'm a frugal gal, so anything to save a buck works for me. Also, it's less gloopy on the brush when I have a project like this that takes a while to coat. Finally, the water helps the paper to saturate faster and become more pliable. That helps when I'm wrapping corners and edges and stuff. I used bigger pieces to finish off the flat surfaces. Then I left everything out to dry for a couple of hours. I weighted it down to avoid cupping. I'm using the DAP patching plaster again on this project. It's easy to work with and pretty forgiving over variations in cardboard thickness. I used my Japan scraper to apply and pull a somewhat level thickness across the surface. I wasn't concerned with the small breaks in the plaster. That skip trowel will just add to the final weathered wood texture, which I created using a chip brush. Some of the tight areas were tougher to coat, but instead of trying to get the trowel in there, I just coated the chip brush and painted on the finish. Luckily, that part will be hidden by the glue gun most of the time, so I'm not concerned if it isn't perfect. The final side on this DIY was a bit challenging because I had to hold it from inside the storage compartment to coat it, but I got it done. I wanted to weight everything down again just in case of cupping, so I used a plastic bag as a barrier, set my books, then I left it to to dry overnight. I gave the whole thing a super light sanding with a 220 grit sheet. Then I wiped it down with a barely damp rag, just wet enough to remove the dust but not rehydrate the plaster. You know I'm going beach vibes for this DIY, so I coated the whole thing with Behr eggshell latex in the color, yep, you guessed it, gray squirrel. The darker color sank into all the grooves, and that'll help to create a nice faux shadow and effective depth once I dry brush. After the base coat dried, I came in with my favorite acrylic accent colors to dry brush over the graining. I started with a mid-tone and brushed in multiple directions to mimic realistic patterns created by weather on wood over time. Then I did the same with a lighter vanilla color. I gave this DIY 2 coats of my favorite Modern Masters Dead Flat Varnish. I don't expect this to last forever, but I still want it as protected as possible for now. But with that, this upcycled cardboard hot glue docking station was complete. What do you think? Do you think it turned out okay? Leave me a comment to let me know. And give the video a thumbs up, or even a thumbs down. Seriously, every bit of engagement helps my channel to grow, and I really appreciate it so much. I love how this one came together, and I'm already using it for future projects, as you can see here. I love making DIYs that are both functional and beautiful, like this one. Don't forget to check out Megan Weller's video to see my inspo for this upcycled cardboard docking station. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I post on Fridays and some Sundays and would love to have you join our fun time party. Thanks for being here and watching. Later, peeps!